Sure.
social integration and enforcement of segregation, whether it's de jure or de facto. It's not
Mm,
automatically a sign of being, stupid, you know. So yeah,
okay.
because like superiority and the will to dominate another is natural, but racial superiority, that's not natural. It's more manufactured. And there wasn't really a concept of race or racism prior to, the 18th century and the beginnings of slavery and the justification used to allow slavery to continue being social
Okay.
Darwinism.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So hmm. Like, hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to read this chat at the same time while I'm listening to you. I
Okay,
did
okay.
hear everything that you said.
Mm.
It's a good point you made there. It's a good point you made there. I can understand that. But like when I'm saying racism, of course everybody is like decently like not everybody, but a good majority of people, especially in America and some European countries, are naturally racist because of the information that is pushed on them, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm saying racism, I'm not just talking about what you were born into and the
Oh,
society
you're
that you were born into.
talking about the concept itself.
I'm speaking of maybe I should have described that better. Okay, that's why KK probably wanted a better description.
Wait,
I'm saying the action of being racist towards another individual, the action of going out of your way and being racist towards another individual, like how some Europeans, I don't know if you see it a lot, but I see it a lot. They'll see nitpicked things about African Americans or news about African Americans doing violent crimes or
yeah.
committing crimes and instantly switching to the term black fatigue or switching to the term I hate black people and I hate am
Yeah.
I oh
I think
I might get banned for that.
it's all
The,
right. I
the, the,
think a, if I could just interrupt quickly, I think a good way to look at it instead is because even if we're talking about actions that has to do with being raised under the ideology, I think we should just zoom in on the concept of racism and racial superiority, whether that is logical or not. I'd say no. It's a cope. It's very cowardly. Because you don't have to you don't have to do any work. You don't have to produce something tangible to be analyzed. You can simply be like, oh, because I'm white or because I'm black, therefore I'm superior over the opposition, which is very low IQ, very high
so
cope. You know what I mean?
so should I say the idea of racial superiority is low IQ instead of does
Yeah, just that's better. You know,
am I even allowed to type that out on Roblox?
I mean, maybe not, but what else was I gonna say? Also, like statistics that get used by a lot of like so look on moral issues and stuff. I'm not on the left, but the reality is that statistics that get used about black people and arrests and whatever. It's ironic that they talk about arrests but not convictions because when you look at the
Mm,
convictions, the rates are way lower in
mm-hmm.
comparison to the arrests and in comparison to white people charged within the United States. So
Oh
it
my
doesn't mean
gosh.
it doesn't mean we
Emperor,
go and
you're a
say
dog.
yeah, it doesn't mean we go and say, oh yeah, it's a white problem. It's not. It is an American citizen problem. It's a problem for the nation. You know, for society to fix rather than marginalize groups and stuff. But it's just a simple opinion.
I mess with you. I mess with you. I mess with you. I mess
Thanks,
with you.
man.
I'm gonna let somebody else talk. I like that answer. That's a good answer.
It's all right, man.
All right, all right. I'm gonna let Nova speak because he hasn't said anything yet. He's been here the longest. I'll let Pam up
Hello.
next.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
let me move you. Let me move you to the seat real quick, bruh.
yeah,
All
no worries.
right, all right.
Yeah. So I actually kind of agree with this statement that you have. The idea that I have is that if you are somebody who generally has a very tunnel vision view, right? You're not willing to hear
Mhm.
other views. It's not generally a fact you lack intelligence, right? Like let's take a look at probably not a great example, but someone who's super religious, right? Someone who's super religious will
Mhm.
argue that God is real, right? And they'll have like their own
Mhm.
data points and own facts and own things to support that belief, right? And the fact
Mhm.
is they're intelligent religiously speaking. Now, does that mean that they are smart to my like I'm agnostic, so I don't really agree with most religious stuff. I don't really believe in a God, but I can at least
Mhm.
respect the dedication shown for that, right? It doesn't
Mhm.
mean they're not intelligent, right? But also doesn't mean they're smart people either, right? I feel like
Mhm.
IQ is the best way of putting it. I feel like it's just intelligence, right? Intelligence is having an open mind, willing to learn new things, right? Willing to build upon your thoughts. And people who are generally racist and that kind of stuff, I at least correct me if I'm wrong, tend to be more intelligent.
That is very true. That's very true. I'm happy there's not too many people who are genuinely like racist disagreeing with me right now. I'm very
Mhm.
happy about that. I thought I was gonna get on Roblox and I was gonna hear a bunch of people just like call me the N-word and just like get voice banned forever. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear if that were to happen. You don't deserve that kind of treatment. People here are like I've met some people that I've met are kind of weird with their beliefs, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I think there was a guy that I was discussing with where he thought that like Islam was like really bad because it didn't believe the right God or something like that, or it didn't like follow
Mhm.
Christianity. And like I'm like, man, I'm like, that's just racist. That's just like, no offense, he's just discriminating against an entire minority. I'm not. I'm 18. The fact of the matter is, though, I feel like the big thing here is that people need to recognize that it's not just about low intelligence. That's not the biggest factor here. It's the fact that when you're raised in an environment and you're closed-minded and you're not given the chance to actually, what's the way of putting it, discuss with people on this, it leads to a lot of problems, right? Because let's say you're someone who's racist, right? And you're in a very liberal community, right? You're gonna be looked as an idiot, right? Like the fact is, I think you and I both agree that racism is stupid, right? Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Ticket?
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
So if someone was like racist here, obviously we're going to be like, oh, that person's ridiculous, right? We're not going to really interact with them as much because we think their
Mhm.
views are a little bit absurd, right?
Yeah.
But and this is assuming that we both are well aware of what would happen if we did this, and we both wouldn't do this. But the example is that when you back somebody into a corner, you force them to go into other people's beliefs, right? Just because you disagree with them
Mhm.
doesn't mean you can't educate each other's perspectives, right? So I
Mhm.
feel like the best way to solve racism is by talking with them, right? I mean, there was a guy, I think there was a black guy that I forget his name, but he talked with like I think 200 of those members of that like the clan, right? And
Oh, I
he
know who you're
actually,
talking about. Yeah, I know who
yeah,
you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, and it worked. Like,
And it worked.
it- yeah, like if that worked, imagine what else we could do with it. I feel like there's a lot of difference we can make. And if yeah, Pam put Pam knows exactly what I'm after. And yeah, like
Can you
I
put
don't
a
know.
timer on things? I'm not trying to like kick you
Oh no
out, but
worries.
it's
I mean
more
yeah,
so
perfect. Yeah,
like
no. Sorry, yeah, keep
I'm
going.
just trying to make sure I want everybody to get you know what I'm
You
saying?
can set me down if you wish. I'm totally fine with that. Pam can speak.
All
That's
right.
completely fine.
Hey, I like your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'll rock with you. That was a good chat. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
nice
saying?
chat, man. Have a good day.
You too, bro. All right, Pam. All right, Pam. All right, Pam. What you want to say?
I just wanted to say to Nova that I said I've debated for 10 years, but I actually haven't. I've only debated for maybe like a week. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Um, okay. So by the topic, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like, sorry, my accent, I have a little accent, but yeah.
No, you're good.
You mean like white people are, just have a higher IQ?
What?
What? Wait, what do you mean
Wait,
by the
wait.
Do you like I can really listen to why you and
Does does the idea of racial superiority equal, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like not low IQ, but just like
mm,
a lower intelligence.
but like why do you think that?
I think that because believing that you are superior to another group of people or another person, no matter if that's gender, race, sexuality, religion, any of the above, believing that you are superior to somebody based on those facts. Of course, like I'm Jamaican. Like I'm proud of being Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my ethnic background. I'm proud of who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my identity. You know what I'm saying? but I don't believe I'm actually better than somebody else, or like, I don't think I'm better than somebody else because I'm Jamaican. I'm just proud of being Jamaican. Is it
Oh,
unintelligent to believe that you are actually better than somebody
I don't
because of
think
your
I
race?
don't think you have like I don't think it equals you have low intelligence, but it's definitely a really bad opinion to have because it makes you seem like you're better than everyone, and that's just mean. But like it doesn't mean you're like you have a low IQ, but if yeah.
And why do you not think it means you have a
Because
low intelligence?
IQ doesn't have to do with anything of like thinking your race is more superior to others. So that doesn't have to do with IQ. IQ is just a number in your head and how your brain processes things. Sorry, my accent, but yeah.
You're good.
But like yeah.
It's problem solving. Okay, I'll switch it to natural intelligence. Okay, I'll switch it to
Okay.
natural intelligence.
All right.
Because I'm
I
meaning natural intelligence, but I'm just saying IQ because it's just like, I don't know.
okay. I'm
I
gonna let
completely
you
spelled
debate with
holy
someone else because
dyslexia.
like I don't know.
Holy dyslexia. No. Hold on, I need to change it. My bad, y'all. Holy, bro. I hate being dyslexic, bro. It's actually tragic.
Sure.
That's spelled, bro. No way. All right. That guy named Gabriel. I've let you sit for almost 10 minutes. Let me let you speak. Let me
Hello.
let you speak. Yo.
It's all right. I'll be honest, I did not really hear much of the last debate or the debate before that. So, could you just inform me of like your basic position? Like, do you like support racial superiority
No,
or do
I do
you
not.
you do not? Okay. Then we would probably agree on that because I don't support it either. So, yeah. But on this
Oh,
topic,
I
would
spelled it
you
wrong
like me
again.
to?
No, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, so sorry. No, you're
Oh
fine. You're
my
fine.
gosh, I forgot to say low natural intelligence, not natural intelligence. What am I talking about?
Oh, okay.
Holy.
Okay.
Okay.
That.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
No, you're fine.
Yo.
You're fine.
Oh, I'm so happy I caught that. Okay.
That could
Yeah,
have been
that could have
bad.
been
Yeah, it could have been bad,
terrible.
Nova.
That could have been terrible. Okay. I do not believe in racial superiority. I'm gonna just put that out there right now.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right, good thing you got that. Good thing you got that.
Yeah.
But on this topic, would you like me to give you a study? And this is also for you too, Nova, if you
For
want
sure. For
a
sure.
study.
For sure.
Pardon me. And this is just going to be supporting my position that this is a low IQ belief. No offense, right? So
Mm-hmm.
first, right, evolutionarily speaking, because I believe in evolution,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
we can see. I think that the psychological and sociological impacts and origins of how this kind of started. For example, if you have Group A and Group B, and Group A has the similar complexion to mine, and Group B has a similar
Mm-hmm.
complexion to yours, they may look at each
Yeah.
other, look at the differences, at least the differences in melatonin, and say, "Yeah,
Melatonin.
I don't know if I really trust that guy," you know. Sorry,
You mean
or not
melanin?
melatonin, melanin. Sorry, did I say
You're good.
melatonin?
You said
I'm so
melatonin.
sorry,
You
man.
said melatonin. No, you're good. You're
Sorry
good.
about that. I meant to say melanin, not melatonin.
No,
But
you're good. That was funny.
yeah, had my own goof up there, you know. But yeah, so like I think that there is like an evolutionary reason why this started. But I think even with that being said, we have enough evidence now that shows us that it's not really a compatible belief with reality. Putting
Mhm.
it provocatively. So
Yeah.
the study I'd like to bring up, and you can like Google this on Google if you want to. You as well, Nova.
Yeah.
Would be Noah A. Rosenberg's study for the National Institutes of Health, NIH. I think this was a study done in 2003. Revolutionary study, I must say. And it kind of put into question the idea of race as we know it. Like most people
Mm.
nowadays, well, I don't want to say most people. A lot of people nowadays will say that gender identity is a social construct, that gender is a social construct. But I would
Yeah.
disagree with that, but I would say that for race, and I'll explain why. So, in this study for NIH that Noah A. Rosenberg did, he found that him and his team took more than 1,000 groups, like I think it was 1,054 groups, and these were from all over the planet. I think, like from sub-Saharan Africa to the darn Yankees up in Massachusetts, right? So they took all these different groups and they compared them to each other. And what they found was, do you know what genetic variance is? Like
In
differences between like
teach
genetic
me, yeah.
information. Yeah, that's what genetic
Yeah.
variance is.
I mean,
They found that there was a 93 to 95% uh, uh, there was 93 to 95% genetic variance within groups. And then there was between groups, there was only a 3 to 5% genetic variance. So let's use an analogy, right? Let's use two analogies because I understand that this could be a little hard to understand. So let's say that let's take you and your mother and your father,
Yeah.
for example.
Mhm.
There's more genetic variance between y'all than if you compared yourselves to another group, who with another mother, father, and child, son. There would be more genetic variance within a family than than between two families. You know.
Mhm.
Another example. This is gonna kind of do like colors, for an easier way to understand it. Take Group A, and let's say that Group A has one guy who's blue, one guy who's green, and one guy who's red.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
guy that they have for green is like a lime green, right? But then we have Group B over here, also has a guy who's red, the exact same color, guy who's blue, exact same color. But then the green guy is more of a forest green and more dark green, but they're still green. So the point is that there's more genetic variance within groups than between them. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Maybe you all could use this information to help y'all later on in debates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was very interesting. I actually believe that was extremely interesting.
Yes, sir. Of course. Also, are you a Christian?
Of course.
I see the cross on.
Uh, yeah, I am. I'm Christian, but like, I still, it's like, I think my belief in Christianity is more different than others' belief in Christianity.
Fair, fair.
I
Like
just
in.
I just use the I just use the belief, and I just use my belief in God to just you know what I'm saying, if I run out of, you know what I'm saying, will to do something, hopefully there's something in the Bible that keeps me going. That's really just my use of Christianity. I'm not one of those
Fair.
guys who are gonna be like, oh, you have to be Christian or else I hate you. Like, nah, I'm not one of them.
No. Love our enemies, don't hate. But yeah, if you want like
Saying.
wisdom in the Bible, Psalms and Proverbs, of course,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the best place to go. But yeah, would you mind if I add you as a friend on here?
Yeah, for sure. You got it, bro. I mean, as a friend. Hold on.
No, I sucks. All right, friend request is sent.
Yeah, I sent you one too, I'm pretty sure. Christians aren't some category.
All right. All right, man. I'm gonna go. I appreciate the talk, though, and may God bless you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy
Hey,
Spirit. Amen.
you too, Gabriel.
Amen. Amen. Cool. Cool.
There's just like a lot of internet Christians who just like spread a lot of hate like on the internet when people aren't like, you know what I'm saying, who state like
Yeah.
other people aren't Christian, or like when they see like a gay person on the internet, they like I know it's not like they're really Christian, like I know they're not actually Christian, it's just more so like they claim that they're Christian. So
Yeah.
I still kind of like put that title
CEOs.
because there's just certain type of people who just like
Yeah.
state that they're Christian, but they're really like not. It's
Yeah, that's true.
it's just like it's I just like to make sure there's like a split because I feel like there's been a lot of hate towards people in the LGBT. Yeah,
That's fair,
I love
actually.
my neighbor. I love my neighbor. Don't you know what I'm saying? It's cut and
I actually.
dry.
That's right.
Ooh.
I actually go to a Mennonite residence, which is like a very Christian residence. Like, oh my, it's very religious. But like they're
Mm.
still fine with like LGBT, like I'm sorry, I don't remember all the words. I can't say it correctly, but like you know what I mean. Like they're completely cool
Hold
with
on.
it, right? And it's like,
The Skittles.
sorry.
No, you're
Come on.
good. Nova, I think only wants to argue about the like. I forgot we even had that topic up there. All right, let's lock in.
Mhm.
Alphabet Mafia. That's funny. Okay. All right. Only.
The
What
Alphabet
you want to
Mafia.
say? What you have for me? You're mudded.
I want to
All
say
right, there we
that
go.
is a terrible person.
Huh? Who?
Twump is a
AKA
terrible
Skittles.
person.
Emma.
Bro. That is the truth. Is that all you had to say, bro?
Yeah.
All right, you have a blessed day, man. Ban the kid. Oh, that is a little kid. Oh, that is a little kid. Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Emma.
He was right, but I forgot that is a
God
little
damn it!
kid. Yeah, no, you're right. Actually,
Emma. Check it out.
General Nick the Pro. Who's Nick the Pro?
Uh,
Please donate.
No, it's not
I'm
cold
not
at all.
trying to be mean, but my mom is kind of homeless. Yo, watch out, watch out, watch out. That's actually like, yo, Nico, watch out. What is racial superiority? Racial superiority is like believing that you are better than somebody based on your race or your ethnic background.
Do you have a drink?
Me, Mike, die.
No.
Hey, you know.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah, sure.
Me too.
Nico, get out my comments, bro. Get out my chat. I rock with you. You know, you could be as gay as you want to, but get out my DM talking about my mama's kind of homeless. I cannot donate to you. I'm broke as a joke. Yeah, I'm getting private chatted right now. Bro, go somewhere, bro. Damn. Bro, go somewhere.
Is he just like DMing you? Like,
He's just DMing me. He's just like
oh,
spamming my DMs. Like, he is blowing me up, bro.
bro, you know what I find funny? It's just people don't understand what. Oh, he messaged me,
Okay.
and
Oh,
it's
he
tagged.
messaged you
Appreciate
too?
that.
He
Oh my
messaged me,
gosh,
it's tagged.
this
He said
is a
hi.
this is an interesting.
Please donate. he
I'm
asks.
woman.
I'm
Please
poor.
give him some Robux. I don't have money. I don't have Robux to give him, bro. I'm broke, bro.
Hi, poor. I'm Nova.
So
I'm poor.
you're just blowing up your DMs?
You're
Yep.
gonna age check. You're gonna want to age check him. Oh no. This dude's outfit is definitely like a under 18 kind of outfit. I can't lie. You gotta go,
Ooh.
bro.
He
Ugh.
sent K, let me dance, and he just keeps singing banana.
Yeah, I low-key banned him. I don't know. He was low-key like, I don't know, the way his avatar was, that was like a stop being poor. All right, bro.
That's the real solution to poverty. Stop being poor.
Stop being poor. Yeah, bro. You should tell everybody that.
That's
I should
crazy.
go into like the biggest server and be like, here's how we solve
Yo,
poverty. People, homeless people get to work.
Stayless, I'm not poor anymore. I got $1 million now. Yo,
Money
What?
for the poor.
I have $1 million. I just stopped being poor.
Oh,
Nice.
exactly, yeah. You know what?
Welcome
If
to
we
the
print enough money, we just can
welcome
just
to
give
the
it to
bougie
everybody.
club, brother.
Hold on, the Wolf of Roblox City in Chiniki. Do either of you guys want to comment on the actual topic on the top, or y'all just spectating?
Make the rich richer and donate to me.
Oh, okay.
Huh, interesting.
Make the rich richer and donate to me. Yeah,
Yo,
bro.
Dovahkiin. Yo, the Dragonborn has joined. Let's go.
The Dragonborn. What do you mean the
Yeah,
Dragon? What
it
is
says
this?
Dovahkiin. The Dragonborn is in chat now.
I see, I see.
Is that like an Elder Scrolls reference or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skyrim.
My brother really likes that, but he's like old as
True.
heck. It's like 30, 32. That dude's old, bruh.
Fair.
You know
There,
what?
I
I'm trying to
guess.
think of a way on how I can rage bait people. Okay, wait. Oh, here's a funny idea, all right?
Mm.
What? Tell me, Kami.
Yeah,
What
yeah, yeah.
problem can nukes not solve?
Uh,
Pregnancy. Actually, they can solve pregnancy too. Oh wow, they can solve anything.
yeah, low key, they could solve a lot of problems. They can't make me a professional fighter. That's what I want to be. They can't do that for
Bro,
me. So
well, okay, hear me out. Nuclear radiation would modify your cells where you'd be stronger at a
they can make me
0.01%
richer.
chance.
They
They
can
can
Yeah, it'll
make
make
you
me
be like
richer.
richer. Watch
it'll be
out,
like
bro.
Superman, but the opposite. You know, like he gets
Oh,
weaker from
KK
nukes.
Zach.
You'll get stronger from nukes.
Hi.
Yo.
Okay.
I I realized, oh my bad, Ume. We're low-key like far off the topic right now because nobody's coming here like debating. No, KK, you were right. I low-key had to change the title like 15 different times. So
I'm gonna make a server about ice so that I can bother people. I think it'd be
Ooh.
really funny.
You're getting
Because like,
very provocative out here, ain't we?
well,
Yeah,
Gabe, you
bro.
know what's gonna happen if people try debating me on ice.
Sorry, what?
You know what's gonna happen if people try debating me on ice. You know what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
it's gonna
Bro,
be
they would get
very entertaining for
fried,
me.
bro. What?
Well, no, it's not. That's not why. Okay, take a guess at what I study.
Uh, where do you stand on ice?
Racism.
I don't mess with ice.
I study
Uh,
politics.
bro. Oh, wait. Hold on, guys. We actually have somebody who might want to say. I'm gonna make Nova moderator. Make
Oh,
Nova
okay.
moderator. You got it, bro.
Nice.
Hold on. Let me hold on, y'all. Let this individual speak real quick. Hello, Emperor Amun. I don't know how to pronounce your name, bro. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Usurper.
Yeah.
Usurper.
Yeah, it's like usurping a throne, like rebelling.
Oh, ooh,
He's a rebel.
that's a good username.
Yeah.
That's a cool username. Okay. Let me know. Did you want to talk about this topic, usurper? Obviously, because you joined the server and you raised your hand, but like,
Mm. No, I mean, yeah, no, I want to talk about it, but
mm,
not. I think racial superiority has nothing to do with. I mean, what you mean by that? Like just IQ?
No, like
mm.
just being open-minded, because intelligence is like designed to gather information, right? It's designed for us to be able to develop ourselves more effectively. And if you yourself are not open to gathering more information, therefore your intelligence is hindered because you can't process that information or you're not open to it.
That was a very good way to
Uh,
put it. Yeah.
it just really just makes you a person with like literally a brain. I mean, that's like level anyone.
What?
Yeah.
And if we're talking about like
Wait.
emotional, some kind of regulation,
That's not what I'm talking about. Sorry.
I think like the most what makes like an aspect that makes you superior as an individual is having the least amount of empathy, or rather, you act less on empathy and more on individual like your individual selfishness. So like ironically, when we look at like Western civilization, they built their entire society on collectivism and on idealism, which led to them being inclusive of other minorities that will take advantage of their empathy. But the problem is that, like, for example, the African Americans, I think they are less empathetic as a whole, but in a way that does make them superior because they can take advantage of those willing to be empathetic. So, if anything, they're the most evolved, like the most ruthless, because that's what makes them the most human.
Wait, sorry. I low key missed what some of you said. Something fell in my room. I had to go pick it up. My bad.
You're fine.
Nah,
Yo,
yeah, no,
Cammy,
it's
I think that you're pretty ruthless, honestly.
You think that I'm ruthless? What do you mean ruthless?
Like
What that mean?
cool, like ruthless. I'm
just less
messing around.
empathetic.
Get a room, you two. Get a room.
Like for example, like have you ever been to like their like, communities? Like they will respect power,
Put
right?
me up.
If you're
Oh
a
my
person that
gosh,
is,
gamer. Hold on. Oh my gosh, this guy's demanding to get put up. Yo, don't put that guy up. I'm sorry. I have to
I
listen
can't
to
do my
them.
magic trick. I can't do bippity boppity
Oh,
boop.
okay. No. Okay. Hold on. Usurper. I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not listening to what you're saying. My bad. My bad. Continue. Continue. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm not trying to be rude.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty much done. I mean, if anyone
You're
has
pretty
like
much
a
done.
contention, then I don't know. I mean, essentially, it's just like having less empathy makes you like more superior because you can take advantage and become more able. I
Okay.
think the less empathetic group of people that I know and is definitely African Americans, but that's like probably why they're the most successful in Western society.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right.
Yeah, I started to realize
Uh,
this actually. Not gonna lie.
well,
Like,
I don't believe any group of people is necessarily superior, but like, and oh, because you're not even saying a group of people is superior. You're saying a personality trait is making somebody superior. Yeah. Okay. Based on what? Okay. Hold on. I just want to hear. But hold on. I want to hear what this dude has to say. I'm gonna move your seat, but I'm just gonna keep you up here, usurper. Jesus, holy stutter. All right. Let's see what you have to say. Gamer. Ooh, gamer. Yeah, I'm just gonna call you gamer.
It's okay. No, I don't know why you put me up. I just wanted to ask, what do you mean African Americans are the most successful in Western societies? Based on how are you gonna even make that claim? Like based on what fact?
yeah, because the factor I'm using is individualism. Like if I were to, if I say like the objective of a human being is to be as sovereign as possible, usually a sovereign human being is cruel, tyrannical, and advantageous, right? And honestly, those are traits that we actually praise and look up to. That's why we praise villains. That's why we make edits of them, because in a way, we want to be like as less caring as those people. So like I cannot like be upset that a group of people is taking advantage of the empathy of naive people. Like that's the fault of Westerners for giving resources to people that will exploit them. And in a way that makes them advantageous. They are objectively more superior if they can disregard empathy for the sake of gain.
So you're just gonna tell me you have no principles whatsoever and your lifestyle is based on pure thriving of your own person, no matter the cost of anything else, like
Yeah, that's
outside
what
of
makes you
your
free.
person.
That's what makes you free, right? I think that's like the saying, like I'm
So you're
young, black, and
basically
rich.
what, like an anarchist or something?
Huh?
What?
So I don't even know what to describe this. Like, what, you're like an anarchist or something?
You're just an individual. I'm just an individualist, right? If you want to be free, you should take advantage of other people
Hmm.
that
I
don't
don't
want to
know,
be
man.
free.
I believe humans are a species that have thrived through cooperating, not individualism. So you're like fundamentally wrong because our entire species is about cooperating. We wouldn't have gotten to this point if everyone was just like how you say you should be. This is not superiority. This
That's
is
just not true,
this is
though.
just being
We
alone.
literally live in a
This is
technocracy. We literally live in a
and
technocracy. We live
and
in a society where we prioritize the elite and we praise the elite. We praise their individuality, their sovereignty. If you
who
chose to
praises
be
the
a
elite based on who?
and
What?
chose to be a
Already.
You
The elite?
cannot say based on what. I mean, if you just look at America,
No,
they
but
treat Trump like a god. That is literally
America
praising
is not the
individuality.
entire
Yeah,
world,
that's
and
awful.
and not
That's what
and
all
not
Western
even and
society
not
is.
even the entire
You said Western
America
society.
praises. Western society is not just
And then there are
America. Are you
and then there
daft?
are other Americans who also just praise people like Kamala Harris or just other politicians. That's
Yeah.
praising individuality and
We're more
individual
freedom,
success.
more
Okay.
freedom.
Real quick,
Can I
could I
ask
get
you-
everyone's? Could I get real quick? Could I get everyone's opinion on this? Nova, Cami, everyone else. What are y'all's
Yeah.
opinions between individualism and collectivism? Which do y'all subscribe to?
Okay.
I'm more of an individual.
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I think that we need people that have their own individual goals and ability to do things, but the fact of the matter is if you go too far down that spectrum, things get bad, right? But if you
Yeah.
also focus on the collectivism, you also get things that are turning out bad. So it's a
Fair.
balance. It's not one or the other.
Well, yeah,
That
I
makes
guess
sense.
I'm in between too. Like I guess I'm in between because like I'm a fighter. I do Muay Thai. I'm a fighter, and like of course,
That's cool.
like I don't know, like my whole life, like I've kind of been like I've kind of put myself in this bubble like my whole life, and I guess being in a gym, like you have to rely on other people to help you, but like being in that ring, it's like I don't know, it's just reflective of my whole life and like individualism. And that's my freedom. That's my form of freedom, just like Usurper said. So I believe in individualism more
And
so. I'm like 70-30.
yeah, and
Fair.
if you believe we live in a society where we praise the elites, I think people have to understand what the hell that means, right? When we think of praise the elite, that can mean so many things. That can mean billionaires. It could mean even me and Kami because we're the elites of the server because I'm a moderator and he's the owner, right?
Fair point.
We value power. I'm so, but it's true, right? We both have more power than everyone else in the server as of currently, right? But the fact of the matter is we don't praise them, we rely on them, right? These elites are the ones that command the money. They're the ones that control a lot of the power, right? So we don't praise them, we just work with them, right? And that's not just viewing them as gods. Simple as that.
That's fair. What about you, Gamer
The
and
problem-
Usurper? What are y'all's opinions on individualism versus collectivism?
I mean, yeah, it's like what you said, like collectivism just creates reliance and reliance builds exploitation. So, I mean, people are literally been indoctrinated to believe that collectivism is for their own well-being when it's only for the elite's well-being to their own detriment. There is nothing wrong. Like you cannot possibly lose when you choose to be an individual. The only thing is inconvenience. Right, like yeah, poverty is inconvenient, but poverty creates resilience in ways to manipulate people, resources, and then eventually you become sovereign, right? And that's like what we see with a lot of people that are in poverty, and usually they are African American. But in a way, the reason why they're so big in the celebrity status is because we can respect their idea of exploitation. It's not, you cannot expect people to not take advantage of naive people. That is just your own undoing. Where the Westerners have doomed themselves by being empathetic.
Oh
Yeah.
man, here I think you're gonna find this funny. Let's give a case study here. That this is what my professors told me about. You see, in South Africa and in Brazil, right, you have two different societies. This is during apartheid, right? You have a very racist society against black people where the white elite and the white impoverished are working together against the black people, right? And then you have in Brazil, you have a very diverse multicultural society, right? Now, why is this relevant? Well, South Africa collected taxes 4 times more effectively than they did in Brazil. Why? Because when you create a class division, you essentially make it so they're more united, right? Collectivism makes groups more united because the rich elite sympathized with the people who were poorer that were white. And the problem with collectivism is not the fact that it never works. It's the fact that if you say that something doesn't work, you have to consider actual examples of where it doesn't. I'm not saying that that's right for and how it should work. What I'm saying is that's an example of where collectivism just didn't work.
Yeah, but the problem in collectivism is that you are reliant on a constant that is prosperity. So if prosperity ends, then that constant ends, therefore the collective interest changes and shifts. So like
You're
the
right.
individual
Yes.
is essentially similar to what we call like a species that can adapt to any environment. It's
But
like a iguana.
they also change though, right? People also
Can
change.
Well,
can I
no,
say something?
individuals are inherently evasive because they can survive regardless of like political change or climate. But in people who are reliant on that prosperity are going to be victims of those individuals. So that's like what we see in America, right? White people were prosperous, they were reliant that the economy would remain the same, but no, it in fact got worse. Inflation is higher, which means decrease of birth rates. And the people that took advantage of the empathy that was given to the lower classes are now the celebrities and the ones that we ironically look up to. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually objectively superior in every sense.
Okay.
I
So
I don't see how like that. It's like when you talk about individualism versus collectivism, it's more of like a social kind of part, and it's more of like a not on like a grander scale of like your busy bee bodies for like the big man, more like on a family kind of scale, because everybody is busy bee worker bees for like the upper class, like in any society. Doesn't matter whether they're considered individualistic or collectivist, because if you look at America or just Western societies, they're way more individualistic than China, Japan, any of these other countries. So I get what you're trying to say about exploitation. That absolutely happens in collectivism, but it happens more on the scale of like the kids being exploited by their parents because they're being forced to house their parents because collectivism says you have to stay together.
Y'all,
You have
I'm gonna
to.
step down. Sorry, I'm gonna step down so I could just let more people speak right now.
you can
Can I
open up
say
more slots.
something? Can I say
I can.
something?
Yeah, you can change it to the default, and then that'll just have a blank screen. It won't have any of our 3D avatars on there, but then that'll allow more people, like up to 8 people.
Also, Game, go ahead, Becca. Of course you can speak.
You're smart.
So sorry, what did you say, Nova?
Oh no, Game can speak. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Game.
So
Yeah, here it is.
Usurper Saturn
Ah!
portfolio. You well,
Yo, what's up with these?
Okay, well that was certainly something.
so
What?
you do realize
Beat my meat to you,
that
bro.
if people like everyone lived in the lifestyle you are supporting right now, you wouldn't even have the chance to make these claims right now, to support it in the first place. The only reason you are in this position right now to have this sort of opinion is because people didn't live the way you are claiming people should live. That's not the superior way.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've evolved from that, and I think so. Like, I think supporting
if
being
listen.
barbaric just isn't.
Are you
Shouldn't be
familiar with
superior.
Machiavelli's philosophy of
No, I am
power?
not, but let me tell you
I am
something.
actually. I think me and I take it Starus has also studied that because it's a basic
Right.
political science principle.
And even Nietzsche's idea of like the Ubermensch, like
You
the sovereign people are the one that rules society. You're the only one that's literally a fool
No,
that
what
thinks
Okay.
that
society do you have to
actually
rule
thinks that
if
not being sovereign
everyone
is
in
what
that
it means to be
society,
Don't talk over each
what?
other, please.
Okay,
Let
but
Yeah,
the
I
train
didn't
Speaking
finish.
facts,
finish
let's
my
though. He's
respect
point,
each
speaking
other over here,
facts.
folks.
bro, the
Just a
person
cordial
ruling
discussion.
like Germany, that propelled Germany to being like a Western power, he was above consequences. He is the one that dictates what is law because he himself is an individual that has the power to reject other people's narrative. So if
Okay.
you're a collectivist, you
So
have no power. You forfeit that power for the so-called greater good, which is not really a greater good. It's just simply the
mhm,
person that rules over you.
mhm.
So you're
So
like,
you
what are you
disagree
talking
with
about?
Thomas Hobbes and like all those philosophers that believe in collectivism
Absolutely. I
power and power
reject
thinking?
socialist
Okay,
power.
okay. So here's how I look at it. I believe in those principles more than anything in particular, just to make that very clear, right? I understand what you're saying. Machiavelli is actually, he makes some good points in the power, and you're right. The individuals in power are the ones that are the most powerful and, technically speaking, the most independent. But I think Starus can verify this for me. But essentially, you want to know what dictators rely on more than anything? Anyone who's really high in power? They rely on elites and people, right? If you study the occupation of Denmark by the Germans during World War II, or the United States, you'll see how powerless they were to respond. if you study any of those occupations, you can see the mass effect that everyday people can have, not through individualism, but through collectivism, collaboration. The only reason we create a society is through collectivism. You're right to say, however, that collectivism could be extremified, it could be overdone, right? But that's something we've already agreed with you on. The fact of the matter is, though, by saying one principle is better than the other, you deny the fact that it can't go too far.
And you're also not
French
accepting
Revolution.
the fact that there should always be a middle ground. In almost literally every single situation, there should always be a middle ground, and you should never swing just completely one way or the other. Like we live in a world of gray, so there's no way for you to say that one thing is ultimately better than the other, especially when you're dealing with something so complex as individualism and collectivism, because even in individualistic societies, there are levels of collectivism within those societies, and that's what helps society run. Literally, like Nova was saying, society does not exist without some form of collectivism, and of course it opens the gateway to exploitation. But that's when you have to be able to balance it with individualism, and you don't just take one over the other. Because like I was saying earlier in chat, like to put it simply, if you are too individualistic, then you're going to end up isolated. You're not going to rely on anyone. You're not going to make sure that anybody else is cared for either, because you're just focused on yourself. And what kind of society is that? It's not. So you need to be able to find the middle ground where you're able to balance both collectivism and individualism.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the idea. I think humanity has always been looking for the right person to lead us. But when that person is too corrupt and they do, stray from what people believe, what made people believe they should be in power. I mean, revolutions do happen. People do have power to be able to overthrow their government if they don't like it. So,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the idea of finding someone to lead us. I think that's what makes humanity very strong.
No, it does not.
Also-
It's quite,
also
like,
Dova-
not even a Platonist would agree with that. No
Also,
one
Dova,
that
what are you?
studies virtue would agree with that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can get okay. Sorry, Nova. Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. Do you mind if I add you as a
Wait,
friend?
you said go.
Who said that? Who? Me?
Wait,
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
Dova. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Nova. I was like, what? You know
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no.
agnostic.
No. Yeah. Dragon Ball.
Yeah, so the narrative that individualism means like it's entirely self with no cooperation, it's like completely statist propaganda. When we're talking about self, you can also interact with other people that you view as the self. So it's called extension, right? Like I will care about my son because I literally think that my son is an extension of myself, or like a family is an extension of myself. The thing that I own is an extension of myself. So if you touch my car, you have virtually touched me. So I would retaliate, right? So that's not how that works, right? I can have multiple individuals that I see as instances of myself and value and build and create things, right? Like there are literally kingdoms that where their last name is just one singular man, right? Like the Oman. So or the Cossack, right? They all were seen as instances of themselves. And ironically, the Cossacks were one of the most individualistic societies that flourished throughout antiquity.
Yeah, no,
And
you're
my
spot
whole
on,
point of what I was saying is that just because you have a leader doesn't make you powerless. You can still have power and you can still have control if your people are strong enough. If you don't agree with that, you can still take that back. So you still have power even if you do look up to someone to lead your people. And you can't deny that us as a humanity, pretty much the entire world runs off the idea of someone leading large groups of people and societies, and that is what has evolved us and what has gave us so much opportunity of progression and evolution. So I don't really see how you're denying that entirely.
I think another big thing is, yeah, you're right to say that we you can value other things if we're individualistic, right? But the thing is, you're viewing it more as property. I hate to say, at least that's from what I'm getting at, right? You view it as something that's an extension of yourself, right? Something that is a thing that is built upon your values and your world, right? And the problem is when you do that, you tend to think that that is just individualism, right? The fact is, in collectivism, you can also do that, right? The problem is people view it as binary, right? This is what Stavros was getting into earlier, where it's like it's not black and white, right? There's middle grounds where we can live in a society where we still value ourselves, we still value our own well-being, like any human does, right? Naturally speaking, but we still are looking out for that, kind of outer circle beyond just our family, right? So a good example is I go to a residence, right, for university, right? And I view myself as one of those people, right? I view myself as an extension of that. It's an extension of my family to some degree, right? And that is an example of where your property value, or like your idea of property or self-worth or self-value, can expand. So it's not just it's not just individualism anymore, but neither is it full-on collectivism, as we maybe have been discussing. So it's a balance. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm more advocating.
That sounds like a third position kind of thing.
It is, yes, it is, absolutely. That is precisely my point, it's a third position.
I mean, I can't really argue against the third positionist, but
Sorry, third position. What do you mean third positionist? Sorry, I do apologize. What does that mean?
so like you have two, like you have the authoritarian school of thought, which believes like the state is what produces virtue. So to obey the state is to be good. But then you have the other side, the anarchist position, which says to obey yourself, like your own interest is to be good. The third positionist says that if you are the state. So like when you own a house, you have rules, right?
Yeah.
Then you are like the inorganic state. So if you vote for someone which abides by your principles, then you are like essentially the same state, same person.
I see.
But
okay, but so then what's the third perspective
that's
here?
the third
what I'm trying to
position.
figure.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Okay,
it's like
okay.
what you just said, basically.
So it's kind of like a balance between the two, correct? Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, essentially.
So,
but I mean, I
what's
just think
sorry.
it's still vain because in the end, it's still based on like proximity and resources. When resources change, the narrative that we are united under the same principles begins to change. So like then it creates decadence and civil wars and whatnot.
Yeah. So there's the thing. When you consider this is the problem that you're tending to look at. You're looking at it from a purely factual perspective, right? When I say that, I mean is you're looking at it from a resource perspective and a perspective where we are running out of resources, or like an economic perspective, essentially, right? The fact of the matter is that's just not how societies work. Like we know for a fact that people can be treated equally. That we know for a fact things can be balanced out. We have proven this in a number of cases, right? I mean, sure, inequality is becoming worse and worse. Absolutely, it's becoming a big problem, right?
I think it's
And you
just
could
like more
argue
of a
that-
nihilistic stance that
Yeah,
he's coming
agreed.
from.
Yeah, I think it's I understand where you're coming from, is my point. But I feel like by denying these perspectives and giving them no merit, you're like, because we're giving I think most of us here agree that like we need to be individualistic to some degree, correct? I think we're all kind of on
Yeah,
agreement there,
100%.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
sure.
we're not denying the fact that we're not saying you're completely outright wrong, right? But I take it, are you saying we're outright wrong?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's kind of like the whole point of the
Hmm.
topic. It's like I just observe that like superior cultures are just the most individualistic cultures. That's all.
So
uncivilized.
okay, there's the thing. When you look at cultures, right? Cultures change over time, right? They require.
Wait. I'm sorry.
adaptability.
What do you mean by they're more superior because they're barbaric? They're like those populations have lower IQs and they're not even nearly as advanced as us. You're talking about like third world countries here.
Yeah, you're
I'll
talking about like
say
the
that
Mongolians, basically.
exploitation, right?
Okay.
Like, if, for example, a narcissist could be broke, but as long as they appear empathetic, they could take advantage of those that give resources. And the ideas of Machiavelli, that is a capable person. If you're
So you're-
incapable of manipulating people, of exploiting and gaining what you believe you deserve, then you are inherently a lesser being. You have less capacity to do actions.
Well, first of all,
So you believe
so you're
everyone's
calling
even in our- even in
parasites the
first world-
superior life
Wait
form?
a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
First of all, wait, hold on. Within
Christ is
first
good?
world countries, those
Yeah.
countries are like in
Go
America
on, though.
especially. Those are the best at manipulating people into getting what they want and sucking the money and life out of them. They're like the best, and we're advanced, and we have more of them. So if you're looking at it from like a oh well, we need to be more terrible people. I mean, America is like filled with horrible people.
Also, I'm sorry to
I'd
say, if you're
it's not the same thing. No, I think America is filled with what we call like idealists, and Nietzsche would call them essentially hypocrites. They manipulate people by being victims. So like by victimizing themselves, they gain sympathy and support. But this is just not a reliable
I
strategy.
think there's lots of different ways to do it, but that's besides the point. I think so. You're just saying that they are more advanced. Not, I don't know if more you want to say more advanced, but you're saying they're like of a higher society than us because they're more primitive, and I just don't see how that makes sense.
I mean, primitive is a rhetorical language. Like it's a rhetorical word. Like I'm defining superiority.
They're more
capacity to do more actions, right? And if you suppress your actions because you want to, you know, do the greater good, right, to uphold narratives that was taught to you, then you chose to be a lesser being. That is the greatest tragedy. When in these so-called primitive societies, they will do anything it takes to survive, and that's like why it makes them superior.
All right, my friend. I think yeah. Sorry.
Real quick, just one short thing. So you are basically saying that you consider parasites to be the superior life form.
Yeah, exactly. This is a lower.
Who's laughing at his accent? Who's laughing at his accent?
This is
his accent.
I'm not laughing at his accent. I was laughing at the point that he made. It's like he's right.
Because he's talking.
How
He's
are they
acting like
parasites,
society.
Hey, real quick. Was it you, usurper, who said something about like lesser or greater persons?
Being.
Okay, yeah. So what do you mean by that? So like, do you mean that there are lesser humans and greater humans?
No, just being. Like they have lesser acts. So like your beingness is all the sum of your potential and capacity and ability. So if you have more ability, right? If you are not burdened by morals or empathy, then you have higher capacity to do good or evil. But if you choose to be suppressed by empathy, then you have less capacity. You are burdened by all these principles. So that makes
I
you.
completely understand what you're saying, but the problem that makes it a low IQ take is just because you're looking at it as like 2 + 2. I mean, this is like metaphysics type stuff. This is like society isn't as simple as just like, oh, since you're not as barbaric, you're not as advanced, or you're not as willing. Like you're not a lesser human because you chose to give up some of your more barbaric principles. When those principles you gave up let you become a stronger society, let you evolve, let you create amazing things. And I mean, look at where we are now, where we can fly,
let's
we
take a
can
look
go
at
to
something.
space. We can do all this crap. We're advanced. You can't deny that advancement. You can't say that advancement is bad.
Your advancement is built on entropy. It's entirely vain. There's no point.
Buddy. Let's look at this. So, here's the current stance. We have a bunch of people that are willing to see your side of the perspective. We've been ignoring our perspective consistently and disagreeing with us aggressively. The fact of the matter is, we understand where you're coming from. We agree that societies back in like more nomadic times had roles that were able to fitting of everyone. You had to be individualistic for your society to survive due to the fact you had basically have a hunter, gatherer, preparer, whatever role. Everyone was everything, right? That's why the Mongolians were so successful in taking over, many areas, because they were so mobile and so free. But the fact of the matter is, you can't do that in a modern society. The fact is, you are viewing people as generally negative and aggressive. And so when you do that, you tend to nullify many variables when it comes to human goodness. Your belief is more constructed on the foundation that people are inherently bad. Our belief is that people can be bad, but most of them are generally good, and that by working together with good people, we can advance our society to a stronger manner. We're not denying the fact that there is individualistic benefits and the fact that those societies were highly successful, but the fact is they're gone, they're dead, all of them are dead. And
Yo,
that's a society
Roblox
that's
user,
gone.
I can't lie, we're having a whole different discussion. But
come up here to say that intelligence is spelled wrong. So which fucking retard wrote this?
Oh my, bro, I'm dyslexic. Watch out. I'm dyslexic. Watch out. I'm dyslexic.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Yeah. You're fine, man. You're fine.
Yeah, watch out, Roblox user 718. I'm not reading the rest of that because I'm gonna mess up. But
Roblox user, may God bless you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, watch out, buddy.
Already.
You don't wanna see me on my bad side. I see red.
I mean, I think that it's important to like also
This is the
acknowledge.
thing, Cap.
Y'all,
I'm always angry.
make sure people get it.
Guys, let's go.
Make sure
Hit him with the
moderators make
Hulk
sure somebody
line
gets
right
that
there.
mic to do something real quick.
Anyways, folks, I'm probably gonna go now. It was great talking to all of y'all. May God bless you all in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
All right, bye.
What do you want to say?